Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 89 of the Hearts of Midlothian save. And today we have two big games. We have a Dundee United game. I think we're playing Rangers in the other one, which is going to be a crucial game in the league. But we are towards the end of a transfer window. We're January 30th in game here, 2024. And we've done a little bit. We've made one signing, a lot of youngsters out on loan. We'll catch you up on the signing we've made. It is Moussa Diallo. Oh, you're leaving us, Gus? Okay, mate. A young left back. Now you'll see that he's 18. He's only on $3 a week, so he could get a work permit, but he's not able to play in league matches. I'm not going to pay him $8 a week just yet, but I'm hoping. Ideally, we'll send him out on loan in Europe somewhere so that he can play and he'll get first team football this year. And I'm thinking next year, from what I can see here in the potential, we might look to offer him that $8 a week. And I'm thinking it might be between him and. I mean, it could be the end of Dimitri Mitchell, basically, because I think this guy is just a little bit better than him, and potentially he'll continue to improve as well. So that's Moussa Diallo. I think we can afford to take a hit on $3 a week right now, the situation that we're in with Champions League and whatnot. So let me know what you think, but 150 grand, rising up to just over $500,000. I think it was for 50 games, 50 goals, all that sort of usual stuff. But I'm really happy to sign him. I think he could be a really good player for us in the future. And then players out on loan, you can see here, we've just sent a lot of the youngsters out on loan. Paul Ward is someone that's probably never going to make it, but we've sent him out anyway. Neil McStay is one of the young right wingers who I thought was going to make it, but we've also had some very good young right wingers come in. But we're going to send him out. Is it Inverness, was it, that we sent him to? Yeah, so he's going to play some Inverness Premiership, or are they league? That might be Championship. But he's going to play some football there. Kenny McIntosh, I didn't want to send him out on loan again, but he wanted to play first team football. We didn't really have a choice, so he's gone off to Wraith Rovers. I'm beginning to think that we're going to move past old McIntosh there. He plays well when he plays for us, but I just think, you know, we've got Diallo now. Lindsay McLean is also going out on loan. He is someone that I do think is going to have a future with us. But he's kind of behind Hartford and kind of Buckley right now as well. So we'll send him out on loan this year off to Dundee United. So he'll be playing Premiership football. And then I'm thinking we might look to maybe move Buckley on in the summer and let McLean sort of step in for him. Jordan Holland, the young defender that we signed from Liverpool. He's a really good player. The only thing he's lacking a little bit here is sort of marking, passing, in terms of a central defender. So what we're doing is, we've sent him out on loan to Dundee United. We've got a bit of a loan fee for him as well. And yeah, just hoping that he'll continue to develop this year, and then we can look at what we want to do with him next year. I think we signed him on a free, so it's not the worst thing, and they're paying his wages as well. And Colin McNeil. I still have hopes for Colin McNeil, but he needs to be playing. So again, Hamilton, he's gone off to a Premiership club at $30 a month loan fee, which is fantastic. That's what they offered. I didn't ask for that much. I wouldn't have asked for that much, I don't think. But yeah, so he'll get some football there, and hopefully do well for Hamilton. Maybe take some points off the Glasgow clubs if he really wants to be a loyal Hearts player. Then he can come back in the summer, and we'll sort of assess where he's at. So that is that. The only other news, and it is good news as far as I'm concerned, is that Curtis Jones has officially signed to join us permanently at the end of this season. So we had an option to buy him now, but there was no point. We're not paying any of his wages now. We were paying, I think it's just under $5 a week for next season. So he's been a wonderful player for us. I'd go as far as to say a stunning player. Look at these match ratings and the goals and assists since he's come in. So yeah, he's done really, really well. So we're going to have him on a permanent at the end of this season, which I think is good for us. So far, so good on He Who. No bids have come in for him, which is fantastic. No other bids has come in for anybody, actually. We've really got away with it a little bit lightly. I thought we'd have a much harder time seeing off interest from players this summer. This January, but it hasn't happened. Now, before we get to today's games, let's go and have a look at how we've done since last episode. We've played a few games in the league, starting with our game against Kilmarnock. Inaki Dominguez opened the scoring after 35 minutes with his latest entrant for goal of the season. Kilmarnock went down to 10 men late in the first half, and Carlos doubled our lead after half-time at the second attempt. Curtis Jones picked him out just after the hour mark to double his tally, and he completed his hat-trick 10 minutes from time, heading in Johnson's cross. So there we go, we absolutely ripped Kilmarnock to shreds. Obviously we were helped by them going a man down, but Inaki Dominguez just continues to score wonderful goals. And Carlos, another hat-trick from our Spanish legend. It was the Spaniards today, wasn't it? The Spanish Armada, we can come up with a nickname for the two of them. But wonderful, wonderful stuff, and yeah, you can see, very well-deserved win. Next up, it was East Fife in the Cup. League One East Fife at home in the Cup. We got underway with an own goal from a corner. Uche doubled our lead in the 35th minute with a powerful shot on the turn, before Dozzle smashed in our third 5 minutes later. East Fife pulled one back just before half-time, but Sean Clare restored our lead early in the second half with his first goal since returning from injury. East Fife got a second goal from a good strike, before Uche headed in his second, and then completed his hat-trick from the penalty spot. And Aaron Hickey completed the scoring with possibly the best of the lot. Oh, poor East Fife. We were just too good for them. I mean, what do you say about this? I mean, it was good to see Uche get a hat-trick. He hasn't got a hat-trick in a little while. It was good to see Sean Clare back on the score sheet as well. I mean, it was a bit of a rotated team as well. It's not like we went full strength. Unfortunately, Diallo, who could have played in the Cup, was away on international duty. I think must be an African Cup of Nations on, so we didn't actually get to play him in this one, which was really frustrating. So I was hoping to give him a debut in this one. We did get the draw for the fourth round. We are playing Celtic. I think we're at home to Celtic, but yeah, I mean, we don't get easy draws, do we? In the Scottish Cup. We had to knock out both Glasgow teams last year. We've got Celtic again this year. But anyway, if we're going to do a three-peat, will it be a three-peat? I think it would be a three-peat of the Cup, wouldn't it? We're going to have to go through Celtic again. But next up, we played Motherwell. I think we were away to Motherwell. I can't remember. Lewis Hartford picked up the ball inside his own half midway through the first half, and was only a finish away from a worldie, but he did manage to tuck away the rebound. Curtis Jones bent a wonderful pass behind the Motherwell defence for Carlos to finish calmly and double our lead. Motherwell pulled one back, but Jones restored our lead on the stroke of half-time, tapping in Coping's rebound. So no, we were at home to Motherwell. This was a little bit opened for my liking at the back for us. Hartford, Carlos again, Curtis Jones with the goals. We sort of did all the work in the first half, saw it out second half. You can see we did deserve to win. We were the better team. It was just, yeah, we weren't as solid defensively as ideally I would have liked this to be. And the final game to catch you up on is our trip up north to Inverness. A goal-mouth scramble and some excellent vision from Greg Taylor saw Kieran Lang score his first goal for the club and give us the lead. However, our lead lasted only a minute as Lang was caught still celebrating his goal. Don't know what happened here. I really don't. We were outplayed for most of the game. We just, every now and again, we just seem to have a game like this in us. And it was really annoying having taken the lead. It was Kieran Lang's first goal for us. And I'd like to say that the Greg Taylor header, it looked like he meant to pass it over to Lang. It was a good finish in the end, but we just conceded. It was Lang as well. That it was just a frustrating day at the office. And yeah, I don't know what happened. So we played a couple of friendlies in there as well, more for money than anything. We hauled ourselves out. A narrow loss at Dortmund, and then another narrow loss at Juventus, down to 10 men in that one as well. So that kind of, it doesn't matter. Literally, the result doesn't matter. It was all about the money. I think we got about $500,000 for those two games. So very nicely done. If we have a quick check of the finances, since we're coming to the end of the January window, you can see we are well and truly over the wage budget for next season. But I'm pretty sure that if we don't get Brewster back, that will go down. That it will be fine. Next season's wage budget is higher anyway. It looks like. So I've never noticed that next season's wage budget there. Anyway, that is what it is. Let's have a quick look at the league table, see where we stand. We are 1 point ahead of Glasgow Rangers coming into today's episode. We're 7 points ahead of Celtic, and we have a game in hand, albeit that game in hand is against Rangers. If you missed it last episode, we do have FC Bayern Munich coming up, or München, in the Champions League. That'll probably be next episode, I think. And there it is there, 5th round against Celtic. We are at home, which helps. But yeah, that is going to be interesting. So this is what we're up against today. You can see away to Dundee United, at home to Glasgow Rangers. It's going to be very, very important. And a schedule change for tomorrow's episode. It'll be Celtic in the Cup, and then Munich in the Champions League. The Rangers game is moved, so we might, I don't know what we're going to do there. We might miss the Celtic League game because, they're just a mid-table team at this point, aren't they? Anyway, Dundee United, let's have a look at what we're doing here. I'm not going to go click through all the screens. We'll just do this. You can see we are the favourites. We are in excellent form. They have changed their manager, and you can see their form has really, really picked up since they sacked him. They've even beaten Celtic. So this is not going to be an easy game. They beat Celtic because we've lent them 2 players, probably. But Michael Beale is their new manager. I think he's a permanent manager, isn't he? I haven't actually checked that. Yeah, he is the permanent manager. An attacking long ball style. So it's Tony Pulis at its very finest. You can see there, McLean and Holland both played in their last game, the draw in the Dundee derby. They won't be able to play today. So in a way, that's good because we've weakened them without, just because they're playing our lone players. We can see everything else here. There's only been a couple of games under their new manager, so it's difficult to know exactly how they're going to play. So we're going to come out like this. Not our strongest team, but not a weak team by any means either. It's Amar in goal. It's Mitchell, O'Connor, Proctor, and Lang as the back 4. Dozzell and Hickey go in midfield. We do have an injury to Davy Turnbull. It's 2 to 3 weeks, so he's not available. We are a little bit thin in central midfield, I think. But there was nothing really to sign that was reasonable money. It's going to be Brewster, Clare in the number 10 role, and Turner with Cameron up top. It's a risk because we're not. It's an improving Dundee United team, but Rangers are the priority. So we are matching up formations with them, which is maybe that works in our favour. Hopefully it works in our favour. We should have the better players, so we should be able to win this. We need a very much improved performance from that Inverness game, though. I told the team to expect to prove a point today. Do we want to say we're the favourites here? We can potentially lose. No. Recent forms. Dundee 4th. Let's show them why we're the best. We are in the best form in the league. Let's go with that. Some calm. We have faith. Let's send Innes Cameron up top with Fired Up, and let's go. So yeah, this is tricky, and it's one of these two where do we go with a full strength team here and just make sure we win? Because if we drop points here, then even if we beat Rangers, we break even on the whole thing. So it's one of these calculated risks where I have to, I've hoped that this team is good enough to get the result here for us, and they just have to do it basically. The reason why Uche isn't playing in this one is that he's match fatigued, so we've gone with Innes Cameron, because usually I'd love to get the Mitchell-Cameron duo going, but here he is, Innes Cameron now. He's got half a chance. It's a narrow angle. It's a decent effort. And I think drawing a save from the keeper and getting a corner was probably the best case scenario there. We get Porty O'Connor up from the back. We know he's a monster from set pieces. Dozzell looks for him. Does he? No, it's too close to the keeper. Easily claimed in the end there, and that was all a little bit disappointing. Here we go again. Dozzell now over a free kick. Hopefully this will be a little bit better. It's again, I'll tell you what. Oh, the keeper's come charging through, and he's absolutely cleaned out Sean Clare, and he's given a penalty. All right, it's going to be Rian Brewster, I think it was. I haven't seen him take penalties. I don't know if he's any good at them. Go on, Rian. Sticks it away. Go on, Brewster. Oh, there we go. 6th goal of the year for him. He has kicked off a little bit. He wanted his loan terminated because he hasn't been playing enough. I don't want to terminate it this year. I'm not convinced I want him back next year. Certainly, I think $9.5 grand a week. We almost certainly don't want him back because we do have Edie coming through. And is it Robbie Taylor on the right? So we do have some young right wingers coming through. Plus we have McDonald who can play out there. So I think it's $9 grand a week we can save. And possibly I think I want to reinvest those wages into a central midfielder. Oh, we've clocked off at the back post. And Ashley Fletcher and Corey Blackett-Taylor, he starts off at Villa. But, I mean, none of that matters because we've clocked off at the back post. That's Kieran Lang again, isn't it? We need to work on his marking or something. He's just ball watching, isn't he? And for the second time in as many games, he's fallen asleep after we've scored a goal. Now, what's going to happen here? It's gone straight back. We got Brewster there with a space to run into. He's run straight into the Sheffield United. Dundee United player. Callum Gribben has spread it over to Blackett-Taylor. Come on, mate. I'm a Villa fan. Don't do it. Oh! Ambitious. We'll give him the credit and say ambitious. We are falling to pieces here all of a sudden. We've gone ahead and we've clocked off. And this is very, very reminiscent all of a sudden of the Inverness game. What has happened, boys? You've scored a goal and you have fallen asleep. We'll give it a concentrate shout. I don't know what else to tell them. This is not what we needed, boys. We're not going to have a mid-season slump, are we? Surely not. Come on, boys. Mitchell in for Clare. I'd say we could have destabilised the team with transfers, but we've only transferred out on loan players that weren't playing anyway. The player that we've signed isn't involved. We've gone over the top early again for Innes Cameron. Maybe there's a hint there that we need to sort of play into space. Innes Cameron plays it back for Aaron Hickey, and Aaron Hickey's on a little bit of goal-scoring form lately. That's his 5th of the season now. Really good hold-up play by Innes Cameron. Innes Cameron's hold-up play is absolutely top-notch. It really, really is. We'll tell him to concentrate. We don't want to go and give away another goal having just scored. But look at that. He draws into, and it's just a gaping hole. Could have been, assuming that Sean Clare in there as well. Yeah, either of them could have scored in the end. But that's a really, really good goal. And we can... I mean, it's more than an assist, that one, for Innes Cameron, isn't it? It's a sort of an assist plus. Dimitri Mitchell's not having a great game. We do have Taylor on the bench, but again, ideally, the plan for him is to play against Glasgow Rangers. But Mitchell is having an absolute nightmare out there. I wonder if they're not necessarily attacking down the wings. I wonder if they're attacking down his wing. I can never figure out what's my left and right down here. I'm wondering if that is, with neither fullbacks playing particularly well. We'll get them in at half time. We'll have some words. And basically we start again second half, don't we? Celtic is winning. Rangers is drawing. You would imagine Inverness gave us a tough game though, so that's not going to be the easiest. Robertson says to go out there and prove a point. I'm going to say assertively it's time for everyone to dig in. I'm going to tell these defenders that they're not doing well enough. I don't like digging out Dimitri Mitchell, but he needs to hear it there, unfortunately. Sean Clare, we know he's not the best number 10 in the world. Do I have someone on the bench I could bring on? I did have Buckley on the bench, so we could look to make that change. We'll wait. We'll just wait and see how it develops. Turner on the left, the youngster, he hasn't really done anything either. I'm wondering, I think we are currently exploiting the flanks because I wasn't sure how they were going to play. So I wonder if we take that off and get back out there. Hickey is paying attention. That's all right. You can take your dunce cap off. Well, it's not really dunce cap because he scored, isn't it? All right, come on, boys, come on. Let's get a good second half away here, please. O'Connor's playing well. He's the only one in the back four. He's basically carrying our defence, it looks like, there. We've won the header there with Dozzle. Down for Innes Cameron. What's he got for us here? Just keeps possession. Loving your work, mate. Back for Porty. Don't get caught in the ball here, mate. Don't get caught on the ball. There we go. Back to Amar. This is fine, boys. This is fine. Goes back out there for Mitchell. Back for O'Connor. I mean, we're being patient, which is fine as long as you don't do something stupid with it. Here we go, Clare. Good ball there for Turner. This is the first we've seen of him. What can he do? He drives in towards the side of the defence and smashes it over the bar. I'm wondering if we lower the tempo. I've noticed we do occasionally play a little bit better with the lower tempo, which is fine. Let's try to demand more. I'm thinking changes, but I don't know. The worst players are the defenders. I don't really want to change them. Brewster's going to pick that up. What can he do? He's a long way out for a shot. Where's Dominguez when you need him? Mitchell dinks one in. It's there for Turner. Can he find space? Oh, back heel. Oh, Sean Clare, is that a penalty again? No, it's not. It's hacked clear. And this is becoming a long old hole like Dozzle. Don't do anything stupid, mate. Don't do anything stupid. Oh, just get rid. Okay, Jesus. Saw my life flash before my eyes there. All right, Clare, out for Turner. Here we go. Can we hit them early? There it is. It's Innes Cameron. That's a good header. A stunning cross by Tony Turner. And it is 3-2. We haven't been at our best, but we've got the lead anyway. And I tell you what, Innes Cameron deserves that goal, having laid one on a plate for Aaron Hickey. Good ball there to find Turner, and Anthony Turner dinks it in, and Innes Cameron. That was Uche-esque, wasn't it? That was Carlos-esque. He's back, I'm going to say, Innes Cameron. He had a poor season last year, but playing him as a complete forward has revolutionised his game, I'm going to say. He's been much, much better since we've done that. Let's demand a bit more here, and do we start and close it down just ever so slightly? What can we do? What can we do? We have Dreer on the bench. You know what we might do? Let's bring Dreer on for Lang. He can play over there. He's just a little bit more defensively sound. Dozzle's looking tired. He's on a booking. Oh, if I bring Dominguez on, he becomes match fatigued. I'm going to be annoyed, but we're going to do it anyway. And that'll do that for changes for now. And can we give them a concentrate? Let's get back into team instructions here. Let's start and slower right down and hopefully just see this game out, please, boys. Hopefully just see it out. There's 45 seconds to go here. It could be end of game. There's enough time for something to happen. Come on. They've lumped one forward. I think that's too big. Yes, it is. And that should be that. With time wasting on, let's see some of your finest work here, boys. With 20 seconds over, we haven't been at our best. But Dundee United, they've been recovering their form. And I think, well, we do deserve it in the end. But it's a hard-fought win. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I mean, we've been let off, but I think we did okay there. So there we go, Jambo's win against Dundee United. Innes Cameron was absolutely magnificent up there. Really, really happy with him. And if we have a quick look at the other scores of that game, Inverness, they went and held Rangers as well. So they held us, but they've also held Rangers. So we're 3 points clear of Rangers now. We've got 20 goal difference better than them. Coming into our game against them next, we're at home. We could really take a massive step towards the league title here. Let's see if we can win. Oh, deadline day and not a single bid for any of our players. This is a pleasant... Hello? Diego Simeone. Where are you at these days? Manchester City. Well, you were the obvious choice to replace Pep, so it makes sense, I guess. How can I help you, mate? You want to buy Anthony Turner. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. 1.5 million? Mate, you are having a laugh. I don't care if we're just trying to beat Manchester United to be signature, because they're not having him either. Mate, I've got to go. I've got another call coming in. Hello. Marcelino from Celtic. Well, you can just... You want Innes Cameron for 7 million? Not a chance, mate. Not a chance in hell. Just going to turn this off for the rest of the day, I think. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. Now, the transfer window has closed, and it was busy deadline day. Let me tell you, I was really worried we were going to lose Turner particularly, because he was kicking off a little bit. He wanted to leave for Man City, but we got away with it. And we can see here, Celtic have gone big. They've signed 2 of the top 3 signings there, and they have also spent 14.5 million. Most of that obviously was on this kid here, who looks decent enough, but you know, he's 18, so he will get better. But yeah, so Celtic have gone big, but in the end we have got away with it. There was nothing else really. Oh, no, we did sell one player. We sold Luke Fitzgerald off to Aberdeen, 400,000 with a 50% sell-on clause. He came through our system. I kind of was trying to keep him happy, but we weren't going to use him. I don't think he's played this year, and if he has, it's because I've sort of forced him in there. So he'll leave. We have Jordan Holland who can come back for next season and sort of make up that's is it the 5th or 6th centre back. So yeah, I think that's a good deal for us. He's come through the academy, 400 grand in the bank, and as I said, if he does move on, which he might do because he's a decent enough player for this level, just really heading lets him down, we'll get 50% of that as well. So that is the transfer window wound up for the year, and let's have a look at what we're up against here. We are playing Glasgow Rangers at home. You can see we've got a nice 3-point gap on them. If you have a look what we're expecting here, there's still a Philip Cocu coach team, a balanced direct style. Now, the scouts are saying they're going to play the 4-1-4-1 formation. So that being the case, we can't really take much of this for granted. This isn't how they're going to play according to our scouts. And also that being the case, we have changed our formation. So this is how we're looking to play to try and counteract that. So it's Amar in goal. He Coping and O'Connor as a back 3. Johnson down the right. Taylor down the left. Cochrane and Dominguez in midfield. Hartford in the number 10 role with Uche and Carlos up top. We do have options on the bench to change things. We can bring on Jones and Lancaster as wingers. We have Innes Cameron as a chance there as well. Of course, now wanted by Celtic, which is interesting. But that should be fine. So the scouts did get it right. They are giving us a lot of respect, which is about time, Rangers. We did offer Cameron a new contract. He wanted a new contract, which is fine. He's only on £700 a week, so we've given him a proper contract now. What do you want to say to this? Expected to prove a point today. Just go out there, relax, boys. Go out there and relax. Let's get a little bit of passion going. Come on, boys. Some faith in you. Let's go on. Rah! All right, let's get out there. Cameron was only on like £750 a week, so we've offered him a new contract. I think it's $4.5 a week plus the sort of usual add-ons that I go for, the goals, 30 and 20 goals. He gets a bonus, top goal scorer, team of the year, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully he'll be happy with that. I mean, at this point, we're almost... I mean, you probably get paid more at Celtic, don't you? Oh, Carlos, it's a decent effort. Cochrane's there, and he puts away the rebound. Only the first goal for Harry Cochrane this season. But 7 minutes in, and we're 1-0 up. Get that up, your Rangers. There we go. Excellent, excellent stuff. We'll demand a little bit more. Carlos was very unlucky, I think, here not to find his header in the back. And then I think it was hacked off the line. But Innes Cameron, I've got Cameron on the brain now. Harry Cochrane, nice, calm, composed header back to where the goalkeeper wasn't. And that is an excellent start. All right, we do know we struggle with possession with this formation. Well, let's just try distributing to the flanks. Try and get it as wide. We'll get it nice and wide, nice and early. See if that helps us at all. Here we go again from the corner. Dominguez knocks it in this time. It's He Who at the back post. A second attempt. No. Can't quite get it into the net, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll get it wide early and see if that helps us at all. If we're not going to get possession, then we might as well try and look a threat on the break. We've seen before with this formation, it creates chances. It doesn't necessarily dominate possession. Again from a corner, and it's there again for Hartford. Hartford works some space for Dominguez, and Dominguez's cross is blocked. We're going to keep possession. Is the highlight going to continue? Gets a cross in there. It's Uche! Oh, it's found its way in. It's going to be an own goal, I think, off Katic. It is an own goal off Katic. Don't care, boys. Do not care. That's 2-0. Uche gets a big assist on that one. A decent ball in, but the Uche header has done the damage there, isn't it? It was a good block, to be fair there, but Dominguez works a bit of space, gets a second ball in. Uche with a towering header, and was it going wide? Was it going in? We'll never know. Well, it went in, but, you know, was the Uche header going in? It just might have been. It was certainly a powerful header. And again from a corner. We're looking good from corners. Oh, we've hit the crossbar again. We could have been 3 or 4-0 up just from corners. Which is fine. You know, a goal is a goal. They don't draw pictures on the scoreboard. They just add a number next to your name. And there we go at 2-0. That is not too bad. We've ended up doing okay possession-wise there as well. It's going to be an assertive, don't get complacent, doesn't it? Just get back out there, boys. We're going to tell some players here that aren't doing well. We expect a little bit more. Carlos, you're not doing as well as you could do. Is there anybody else? A 6-6, I think I'm going to draw the line out here. We'll let the 6-7 slide if they're looking focused. But yeah, a couple of guys there. The wing-backs aren't doing too good. We could bring Dimitri Mitchell on to play as a left wing-back in this formation. I almost did it anyway. The problem I have with that is that he's not very good defensively. We do have Aberdeen next. My plan is to play him in that one. Greg Taylor knocks a nice ball in. Carlos can't quite get to it. Hartford! Oh, it's another deflected goal. It's another own goal. They're scoring for us. That's harsh. I think that should be a Hartford goal. But at 3-0, go on, boys. This is turning into an absolute rout. Let's have another look at this. Uche did well. Just knocked it back to Taylor. Taylor's cross was stunning. Was this going wide? It looked like it was going. Oh, maybe it was... I think that's harsh. I think that was probably headed for this top corner. The deflection's just taken it in the opposite corner. Their poor goalkeeper hasn't had a chance. Hartford's picked up a knock. We're not gonna muck around with that. We'll bring Curtis Jones on. He can play in there very comfortably. Ideally, I would have liked to keep him fresh for the Aberdeen game, but we have other options that can play in there, so that's fine. We can bring Buckley in for Aberdeen. I'm sure he'll get a job done against them. He may be fine anyway, to be honest. Curtis Jones, he might be okay to get 2 games out of him. We do, of course, also have Celtic and Bayern Munich coming up, and that's all, of course, for next episode. But this has just gone really, really well, hasn't it? The game is kind of petering out a little bit second half here. We'll keep praising them. A little tactical tweak. He tried to be smart, Philip Koku, but we are just smarter than him, and we've done it again. It's 3-0. That is 6 points clear now of Rangers at the top of the table. You've got to say that's almost a fingertip on a second successive league trophy here. I'm really, really happy with that performance. Really, really happy. Well done, boys. We've got to say don't get complacent, though, don't we? Come on. It kills me to do that, but we've got to be wary of, games like the Inverness game where we slip up. We can't let ourselves get complacent, even though that's a really, really good win. Bournemouth are looking for he who... I mean, you've missed your chance now, guys. The transfer window's... Joel Owen. There we go. Didn't know his middle name was Owen. I've never seen a middle name come up before. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked there very, very badly. Let's look at the league table and bask in that glory. 63 points. After 24 games, 6 points clear of Rangers. What's that? 7 clear of Celtic. And we still have that game in hand on Celtic, which is a little bit weird. Maybe that wasn't our game in hand with Rangers. Maybe that was just a regular fixture. So we must still have a game in hand with Rangers. If you have a look at what that means here with the fixtures, what we'll do is we will be back tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll play through the Aberdeen game, and then it will be Glasgow Celtic in the Scottish Cup 5th round as we look for a 3rd successive Scottish Cup. And then it will be the first leg of our Champions League tie against Bayern Munich. We beat them at home in the Europa League last year. We've never been to Bayern Munich. If we can, we've got to try and get ourselves back home with a chance, don't we? That's all for tomorrow, guys. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.